Right now, Army Sergeant Bowe Bergdahl is preparing to go before a military judge. Tomorrow, he will be at Fort Bragg for a hearing on charges of desertion and misbehavior before the enemy. The Taliban held him captive for 5 years before a controversial prisoner exchange returned him to the U.S. WNCN's Michael Hyland has more on what we can expect for tomorrow. Michael?
Yeah, this hearing comes just as Bergdahl is telling his side of the story on the popular podcast Serial. But now he faces charges that could lead to him being locked up for the rest of his life. This is Sergeant Bowe Bergdahl over a year ago as he was being returned to the U.S. It was part of a controversial prisoner swap that could lead to Bergdahl becoming a prisoner once again.
I'm going, good grief, I'm in over my head.
Bergdahl's story is the focus of this season of the podcast Serial. He reveals he left his outpost in Afghanistan because he was unhappy with the leadership there and wanted to report the situation to another general.
I was fully confident that people would understand that I was right.
Now he faces a court-martial. He's accused of desertion and endangering the troops who were sent to look for him. Mark Sullivan is an attorney in Raleigh and a retired colonel in the U.S. Army Reserve.
That this case should be tried out in the open to determine once and for all whether Bowe Bergdahl is a hero or a deserter.
The process starts Tuesday at Fort Bragg. That's when Bergdahl will appear for his arraignment. It's his first chance to hear the charges against him and enter a plea. Bergdahl says he realized soon after he left his post that he'd made a mistake.
I was trying to prove to the world that I was. I don't know, Jason Bourne.
I leave it to the panel of officers in this case to decide the credibility of a statement like that. In my book, that's not worthy of credibility.
A hearing officer only recommended Bergdahl face what's called a special court-martial, where the maximum punishment is less than a year. But General Robert Abrams, the chief of Army Forces Command at Fort Bragg, overruled that last week. If convicted, Bergdahl could get life in prison.
It's clear that he would be a very good candidate for continuing care. I think everybody recognizes that. What I can say is he, like everybody else, is ready for this to be over so we can move on to other things.
Bergdahl has been working a desk job at Fort Sam Houston in Texas. Tomorrow's hearing starts at 10. WNCN will be there and we'll have coverage throughout the day. Sean?
All right, Michael Hyland reporting. Michael, thank you.